Yeah, we on him.
Okay. All right. Now, I want to go to a serious subject. We don't have to harp on this for a long time. But Tedrick talked about at one time their relationship was toxic as far as abuse. And I want you to kind of explain that, a brief of how you got there, some of the things that happened, and how you got out of it, without being too long with it.
Okay, so can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, great. When I first met my wife, I met my wife in a very vulnerable place. I was incarcerated, so I had no secrets. She knew everything about me. So she took a chance on me, and there wasn't no faking the funk with her. I was naked, and yes, I was ashamed because I had all these things that had happened, that had transpired, but she knew everything about me. And so when I came to the relationship, I came with mess. I came with junk. I came with unresolved issues. I came with trauma, and a lot of that trauma it was unresolved issues. I hadn't dealt with it, and so I'm bringing toxic stuff. I'm coming with baggage, and every time something transpired, I'm pointing the finger at her. It's her. I'm thinking, I don't like this. I don't like what she said. I don't like how she said this. I don't like what, and it's vice versa. Same thing. She came with stuff. Though she came from a more stable environment than I did, there was still some trauma there, and we were just projecting on each other in such a crazy way. And then we finally started, realizing that we wasn't each other's issue. We wasn't each other's problem. And once we started realizing that and started really dealing with the trauma and dealing with the unresolved issues and started getting counseling and surrounding ourselves around people that would give us good counsel, they begin to show us what the root of the problem was. And so we started laying the axe to the root of the tree. And we realized then going through the therapy and going through the counseling, we started dealing with childhood issues, traumas, things, demons, curses that were passed down, generational curses, stuff that was lying dormant inside of us that we hadn't dealt with, that began to surface, and we just begin to break. We begin to deal with this stuff. I'm talking about the good, the bad, the ugly. I lost my father at 12 years old. He was killed in prison. Everything that my dad did, I found myself going through that same cycle and trying to break that, not knowing it was there. It was just like, it had just, I was going through life and it was just a sheet over these issues. And once we began to really see the culprit and the reason why, and I realized that it wasn't her that was my problem. The enemy was in me.
So tell me this, like, when you guys, because this is very good, especially for those people who are in a toxic relationship, those people who fight. There might be some people that watch this later on that need to hear exactly what you're saying. Talk about, I want to hear from your wife first, her perspective. Did it ever get physical, or was it just y'all just, just talking, just yelling at each other, and y'all didn't, I know y'all the dancers, y'all didn't cut each other out. I know y'all didn't cut each other out.
Man, it got everything.
Did you ever see the part of, if you remember the movie Lion King, and you remember the part where I think his name is Mufasa, the one who the father lion who got killed, his son and the uncle, and they were on the ledge and they were going at each other, and it was a steel shot, and you could see both of them's teeth.
Like, boom! Is that y'all?
That was us. Man, it was bad.
I mean, we were children.
So sweet.
Like, we were children.
Yeah. It's
right. But see, here's the thing. Here's the thing, is that yes, we are sweet people, but when you have issues, it covers over that until you deal with it. Yeah. It doesn't take away from the fact that you are a sweet person. Yes, we are. We're both very loving people, very heartfelt people. We just didn't know the result, of our traumatic past. I mean, for me, it was like coming from a very prestigious home. The only difference between me and my husband is that we had money. That was the only difference between me and my husband, But dysfunction is dysfunction. We were two innocent, sweet people coming together, and it was just like, but we just didn't know. We didn't know these issues. We were madly in love when we met. We fasted and prayed, because it was an awkward situation. And I'm like, God, I'm not touching this until you reveal to me if this is. And it was a long courting period, very long courting period. We did not, because we were not intimate until our wedding night. We were not intimate until our wedding night.
And it was hard.
Right.
It was real hard.
Bro, you did good, bro.
It was times I didn't want to.
Man, y'all got like 12 kids under 3. Like, when y'all got married, y'all was like,
God just turned the water faucet on, man. It wouldn't turn it off. When she was coming up with pregnancy tests, and I'd be like, man, another one?
So
I had a question. Did you guys grow up in the church?
I didn't.
Okay,
I come from a long lineage of pastors. I'm talking about my grandfather, bishop, uncles, aunts, all that. Just raised in the church, sung in the choir, musicians, all that. I was just totally surrounded. But everybody around me was just doing church. Everybody was religious, but wasn't nobody dealing with issues. There's secrets in our family, stuff that just spilled over into my life. I didn't even know was there.
Right.
And I didn't know why I was doing the stuff that I was doing until God began to show me, and he began to reveal to me what I was carrying. And I'm carrying my daddy pain. I'm carrying my mama pain. My mama, she growed up without a father. Then my father, he got killed at the age of, I was 12 years old when he died. So now my sister there was, went through all of that molestation, went through all that by family members. I did, me personally. I went through all of that, and that locked me up. I went through just beating and abuse by my father. He used to tie me up with neckties and hog tie me at the age of 5 and 6, and that traumatized me. And so people looking at me and they see the what, but they never see the why.
Wow. Wow.
They never see the why, and so they pass judgment. And so it's times now where I talk about this stuff, and I'm okay with it because I want this right here to help somebody. Yeah. Even in my marriage with my wife, yes, it was an awkward situation. And she was right, man. I mean, I didn't want to bring her. I knew something was wrong with me. I knew, I just didn't know what it was. But we began to bleed out. And I thank God for the bleeding out process, because it was in the bleeding out process that he began to reveal the real culprit behind everything. And we began to deal with that thing.